What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Cash It. I'm Howard Bender. Adam Ronis here by my side. What's up, Adam? How'd the weekend treat you? How'd the early part of the week treat you as we go from week 10 to week 11 in the NFL? NBA is in full swing for you. You got a lot of shit going on, dude.
Yeah, definitely a busy time. Weekend was pretty good from NFL perspective. You know, I do have a few fantasy teams that are kind of on the precipice of being eliminated. Others are doing well. Injuries, obviously a big factor. So this looks like it's going to be a rough week with injuries as we wait on some injury news to see who's in, who's out, and significant players went down this week. And I have one.
Wow, who you worried about, man? Don't say the tight end position. Don't start me off with freaking Dallas Goedert and shit.
Kyler Murray is one because they play Monday night. So my home league, I have them, and there's not a lot of good options on the waiver wire. I had to pick up Marcus Mariota because last week I went with Trevor Lawrence. He's on bye. So, and with that game being Monday night, I might have to just play Mariota, which sucks. I mean, at least he's going against Chicago, but it's not ideal when I'm fighting to get in the playoffs or at least put up a lot of points.
Yeah, I was talking about that with the whole Monday game too. Because you're going to end up having to use Mariota, right? It's going to be a 1:00 game on Sunday, and you're still going to be standing there. They're going to be like, "Well, we're not sure if Kyler Murray he's going to be questionable. We're going to test him out, right before the game starts." So to the point, you can't wait on Kyler Murray at all. Not to mention the fact that what the hell are you doing with DeAndre Hopkins and Trey McBride and all the other Cardinals that you were planning on using for this week?
Yeah, I think Hopkins you play. I mean, I guess if Colt McCoy plays, you saw he got him the ball. Now, you could say, well, you can just grab Colt McCoy. I mean, he's dealing with a little bit of an issue as well. Mm-hmm. It sounds like one of them will play, more likely McCoy. But I think Hopkins you can play because he did get the ball. Connor still had a good game. It is San Francisco, a better defense. The Rams defense has been okay. So I think everyone else you just play. Maybe you lower expectations for, but yeah, you can't wait for Kyler Murray unless you pick up McCoy or if you're fortunate and Garoppolo's available and you can go, all right, well, I'll just play one of these guys. But even Garoppolo, I mean, the problem with San Francisco right now is they're just running the ball so much, and it's hurting the rest of this offense right now. The Ayuks, Kittle, and Debo. I know Ayuk had a good game, but you're not going to get all three of those guys having a good game, especially with McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell running the football so much. So yeah, I'm just gonna, that's a situation. And, I had Cooper Kupp in the GST. Losing him is brutal. Cause that was a guy that was giving you insane production every single week. And my guess is he doesn't return this year. They officially put him on IR. The Rams are just done. So I don't see him coming back. And then, yeah, so there's a lot of situations that it's got to deal with, and everyone is dealing with the injuries. And again, it's all about just getting into the postseason and hopefully figuring things out.
Now, when I text you things about my GST league, does it upset you? Does it unnerve you? Or are you like more in the sense of, I brought Howard into this league and I'm so happy that he is having such a good time. Do you take that attitude, or are you just like, fuck you, Bender?
No, I don't really look at it anyway.
You should really look at my team then, because it's so good.
Okay, you're like the kiss of death to your team now. We're going to come back in 4 weeks like, yeah, my team was so good and it just fell apart. Because it's happened to me. Like many years I was like, you're the top, and just the playoffs come and things don't work out. Like I've won 2 titles in that league, and I've lost in the finals twice, but I've never won the overall championship because every time the playoffs come and my teams don't just put up the points that they were in the regular season. So sometimes you want to just be like steady and then get hot in the postseason for those 3 weeks. So yeah, it looks good for you now. And I think you have Mahomes and Kelsey. So that really helps. Like we've talked about a few times on this podcast, like you have that elite quarterback or an elite tight end, which is basically Kelsey or Andrews. I mean, it just gives you a huge advantage, because then if you have one other stud or maybe two, and then a lot of guys contribute, you have an advantage on the field. And, for me, tight end has been a problem this year. I was very, very high on Cole Kmet. I think I had him ranked 9th in our preseason rankings at Fantasy Alarm, and it looked stupid through the first few weeks. And now Cole Kmet, assuming he's healthy, he's another guy that I'm kind of worried about, because I saw him limping in the game and he didn't practice on Wednesday. with a thigh issue. And I don't really worry about Wednesday. It doesn't really matter, but still worried a little bit about that. But assuming he's healthy and able to play, he's probably going to finish as a top 5 tight end this year, which is not saying a lot because of the state of the position. But with Goddard and Ertz down, Kmet with the touchdowns over the last 3 weeks, I mean, he's in a spot where he could finish near the top. But I did cut him in a lot of leagues. And it's one of those things where I can't really have regret. He gave me 2 zeros the first 2 weeks. I started him both weeks of the GST. He gave me 0. At that point, and seeing Chicago not throwing, you can't continue to stick with him. And then you're searching for an answer. So I did cut him in a lot of leagues. I do have him in a lot of best ball leagues, and I did pick him up in a league. But, yeah, that really hurt. I cut Justin Fields in the GST.
You cut Justin Fields in the GST?
I don't know if I told you this story.
Oh, shit.
Well, this is why. You'll probably understand.
I mean, because I'll make you feel better about, Cole Kmet in the sense that, I mean, coming up next after the Falcons game this week, you got the Jets, the Packers, the Eagles, the Bills. I mean, these are teams that clamp down on the tight end, good, solid pass defenses. So it's not like Mr. 5 touchdowns in 3 games going to keep up, such a tasty pace. But I need to know how and why you cut Justin Fields. What was the situation?
I drafted Dak and Fields. So Dak started week 1. He got hurt. So I went to Justin Fields in week 2, week 3. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I didn't want to hold 3 quarterbacks. And I'm sure a lot of people cut a lot of Bears after the first few weeks. They were doing nothing. They had that Thursday night game against Washington. It was abysmal. They were not being creative with Fields. So I said, all right, I can't start Fields. So I'm going to cut him because the Dak is going to be back. So I got to hold on to him. There was a moment where I thought about cutting Dak, but then the news was pretty optimistic that he'd be back. So I cut Fields, picked up Mariota, used him for a week or 2. That didn't work out. I picked up Geno Smith, and that was going well. And then, Jen Piacenti picked up Fields, and now she's cruising with him. So, but again, you can look. I mean, when I explain the situation, you understand why I did it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense as to why. Absolutely.
It sucks here now. You're like, I wish I didn't do it. But sometimes you're going to sit there and be like, I made a big mistake that was dumb. In this situation, I don't think so. I made the decision I thought was best at the time. And I don't think anyone saw this Bears offense turning it around like this. And if you did, show me the proof, show me the receipt, show me the tweet, because this is a stark turnaround. They went from being abysmal to throwing the ball 10 times a game, and they're still not throwing a lot, but Justin Fields is just running over everyone. And I think I just saw a stat. The Bears have scored 29 points in 3 straight games. They're the first team in NFL history to do that and lose every game.
Well, I don't think I ever thought that the Bears would turn it around to this degree. I did not see it being as strong as it has been, and it's been fantastic. I mean, the schedule wise, I mean, they've lost 6 of 7 games, so that's obviously not great. But from a fantasy standpoint, with the way Fields is playing and things have clicked, I will say this, and I think you actually joined me in this, so I think we can both get partial credit, at least because I'm super crazed about at Fantasy Receipts on Twitter, and I gotta have everybody know that I'm right about something. I said this in week 3. I said, when everybody started asking me about cutting Darnell Mooney, and I said flat out, the Bears are not going to suck like this all year long. At some point, they will get it. Things will click. Things will improve. That's what happens when you've got regular reps. If Justin Fields is always going to be the quarterback, the team is playing with this, it's playing and it's practicing together, and things will improve. When those things do improve, Darnell Mooney is a wide receiver 1 on this team, and I want wide receiver 1s. He's going to see the targets. So I'm not going to drop Darnell Mooney for some flavor of the week trying to chase points here and there. And that's why I'll keep Darnell Mooney sitting on my bench, and I have in a number of leagues, and it's worked out, very nicely through this, little surge of Justin Fields. That's where, and I know that you and I discussed that as well for people who are just haphazardly cutting players. But from your standpoint, from why you cut Justin Fields because he wasn't producing. Dak was hurt. So you're talking about your backup. You have to change that out. That's something that you kind of have to do. And yeah, I agree with you also in not hoarding a bunch of quarterbacks so you can play the fucking matchups each week. Just get a guy.
Yeah, and I have Mooney in the same league. I mean, for some reason in the GST, well, I mean, I look stupid early. I look smart now. If I would have, I drafted Fields, Mooney, and Kmet. So,
your Bears stacked it, dude.
I know, I looked like the biggest fool the first 4 weeks. If I would have held on, people were like, "Oh wow, your team's got a lot of juice right now." But the 2 games I started Fields, 7 of 11 for 70 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. 8 for 17 with 106 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He rushed for 20 yards and a touchdown and 47 yards. The second one was against Houston at home. So I can't start him going forward. And even after that, the next few weeks weren't good. It wasn't really until
it's like 4 or 5 weeks ago. 4 or 5 weeks ago.
The Washington game where we said was ugly. He actually was not. It was an ugly game to watch because it was 12-7, but he had 190, 1 passing touchdown, and 88 rushing. That's not bad, but it was really, the next week against New England where, that Monday night game where I don't know how they won that game.
That crushed everybody in Survivor.
Oh, it did. I remember, our boy Truck was in the Circus Survivor. And that was the game he picked. And I said, dude, don't beat yourself up. He's like, yeah, but I wanted to take Dallas, but I was saving Dallas for the next week. I'm like, dude, no one thought New England Belichick would lose at home to Chicago. That was stunning. Like, we've seen a lot of upsets this year. That was one of the biggest ones this year, in my opinion. Like, I know the Bears have turned it around since then, and you could say, well, look, that was kind of the start of where they put something together. But yeah, man, that was stunning because they dominated that game. Like, the Patriots were really never in that game. So again, I think I made the right decision. Mooney, I never considered cutting at all. I have him in a few leagues, different with a wide receiver. And I did think that was one thing I said too. I didn't think the Bears were going to be one of the most fun offenses to watch in the NFL now. But I said, look, an NFL team cannot throw the ball 17, 11, and 17 times every game. It's just impossible. And we're right, because now they throw 20, 28, 23, and 21. So it's still not big volume, but it's way more than what we saw the first few weeks of the season.
Yeah, it's definitely more. Very ironic that they're playing the Atlanta Falcons this week in Atlanta because Mariota of that same ilk in the sense of, you want the rushing yards and you need him to perform for you. And I'm actually rolling with Mariota. I have Geno Smith on a bye in one league, and there's nothing sitting out there on the waiver wire. So, you just kind of, you plug the holes where you can and hope for the best. I think, Mariota could be a good option, at least this week. Game total of, I think it was like 49.5, or it went up to 50 over on the DK Sportsbook. So I want to jump on that. I want to touch on, I got to talk to you about Survivor. Can I pick your brain? You do the article over at fantasyalarm.com. And you give your 3 selections. The thing about it is that I'm in a Survivor pool right now, and I've made it through. And there were, I think there's like 10% of the field is still in this, and I've got a team in there. But I've used the Ravens, I've used the Bills, I've used the Bengals, I've used the Eagles. Right? I've used Dallas, the Chiefs, I've used the Chargers, the Dolphins, the 49ers. Like, I've used all the top teams. And that's literally out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 selections, 7 entries I had in this Survivor pool. I have one that has withstood the without worrying about a buyback or anything like that. One team that I've picked correctly every single time. But now I'm coming into this week, dude, I'm fucked. I mean, there's no nice way to say it.
Who are you looking at?
All right, so here you go. So obviously, going through all the research and stuff, and I'm looking at money lines. Also, you look at what point spreads are, but I'm focusing on the money lines because a lot of these games, it's not great. I mean, I can give you here's everybody who I have available. Okay, just for this week. I can use the Packers or the Titans against each other. Not great. I don't want to. I really don't want to invest in that game at all. Do you?
No, I lean Green Bay. I think they're going to win.
Yeah. I kind of lean it. We'll give you, by the way, we'll give you our picks against the spread as we go on here on the show. I just wanted to, this is strictly, this is win-loss. This is Survivor only. And especially if you guys out there don't have any of the top teams available, this is a good way to kind of sink in and dive in on it. So you lean Green Bay. I do as well. I don't love it. But yeah, I mean, it's minus 170 on the money line for Green Bay to win. Browns over the Bills? No, thank you.
No.
Panthers over the Ravens? Nah,
no,
brah.
No chance.
I can go with either the Giants or the Lions against each other.
I mean, you have to lean the Giants. I know you're like,
minus 155 to plus 135.
Yeah, the Lions had their emotional win last week. I mean, but yeah, could the Giants lose this game? Absolutely. But we kind of say that every week, and they're 7-2.
I know. So, all right. So here we go. I can use either the Jets or the Patriots against each other.
No.
Right, exactly. I can use either the Commanders or the Texans against each other.
No.
I can use either the Bears or the Falcons against each other.
Yeah, no.
It's brutal. It's brutal. So far, is your favorite out of all this so far, is it the Giants or the Packers?
Probably the Giants.
Okay, so this is like ugly as sin here. I can use either the Rams or the Saints against each other.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, and Stafford is going to start, or it looks like it. But they're so bad without Cup. But do you really want to pick a shitty team? Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Right. Saints minus 175 on the money line. I could use the Colts over the Eagles.
Yes, love it.
I can use
Jeff Saturday, bro, the Magic.
I can use the Broncos or the Raiders against each other.
Two phenomenally coached teams.
Horror show. I can use the Vikings over the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys are slight favorites.
I could use the Steelers over the Bengals.
No.
I could use the Colt McCoy-led Cardinals over the 49ers.
No.
So it comes down to me, and I narrowed it down to the three. And that was the Packers. It was the Giants. All right. And then the third one was the Saints. Saints are actually a minus 175 favorite on the money line. This went down to 3. It was at 4.5 earlier when I looked, but yeah, you just said Stafford's going to play. So that's where we are. Still the money line favorite even with the spread is still the Saints. It's minus 120. So those were the 3 teams that I narrowed it down to, because I can't use any of the top teams. Like this is where it gets really dirty and really ugly. And listen, there's over 100K on the line. So, obviously it's a tough spot to be in, making this pick. I don't know where to go.
My lean is the Giants.
I'll never forgive my wife if the Giants lose. Like we could be putting my marriage in jeopardy. But it is her birthday tomorrow, Thursday, the 17th. So maybe she gets that birthday victory, and I give her a back rub or something like that as her birthday winning present.
Yeah, there you go. I kind of want to say it. I want to say the Packers, but it is difficult to trust them. And Tennessee is a team that I just all the numbers say they're not that good, and yet they just find a way to win every single week.
Do the Packers have a strong enough secondary besides Jair Alexander? Like, that's the thing. Like Denver, because they had Surtain and their cover corners are rock solid, Denver was able to sell out and stop Derrick Henry. And that's the way they're built. the Packers, on the other hand, are they capable of doing that? Do they have the players who can shut it down when it's necessary?
It's not like Tennessee has an explosive passing game.
No, they don't. But what happens is like you can stick to just man to man, right? If you've got strong cover corners, you don't have to worry about zone or anything like that. You can use the safeties to pinch up a little bit more and help stop the run. Don't let Derrick Henry get into that next level. And that's what they did for Denver, is that they basically went to man coverage and they used the safeties to cheat up and help stop the run. And you know, that's the game plan. But if you don't have the cover corners to do it, then it gets a little crazier. So, I mean, yes, you got Jair Alexander, and who's he on? Like Robert Woods maybe, or, you know, however, but, you know, can they still turn around and, you know, and beat you through the air at all? And that way, then, you know, then maybe, you know, you worry about holding back more into coverage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you probably take the Giants. I mean, can they lose? Absolutely. The line's only 3, but you're taking a well-coached team against one that's not. And they got a huge win last week. So I think you go with the Giants.
All right.
Is that where you were leaning?
Is that where I was leading? I was genuinely undecided. I was still talking about those 3 teams that I was using, but the Saints dealing with what they're dealing with right now is kind of turning me off. And the return of Stafford obviously like falls into play there.
Yeah, but
I like taking home teams.
They're not going to do anything on it. They have sucked with Cooper Kupp. Now you take them away. How are they going to do anything on offense? They can't run the ball. It doesn't matter what running back you put out there.
So now you're telling me to take the Saints?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I don't see how the Rams do anything. They have sucked for this whole year, man. Their offensive line has been a mess. It's just that the Saints haven't been good either. But we did see the Saints a couple weeks ago destroy Vegas at home. Not that Vegas is any good, but the Rams have just been abysmal. They've lost, 3 of their last 4 4 of their last 5 by double digits. Their only win recently was against Carolina.
Dude, listen, that's why the Saints are in play for me.
You wouldn't consider Washington, right? Because they're on the road.
Yeah, I don't want it on the road. And, I mean,
they've been playing well though, and Chase Young could play this week. But yeah, it's risky because the one thing about the Texans is they have been staying in games. They've been competitive, and
yes,
Washington is coming off a huge emotional win, a short week. They have won 4 or 5 games though, man. And their one loss was to Minnesota by 3. They've actually been playing pretty well. Even the loss before that was a 4-point loss to Tennessee. They've been playing well.
Well, I can't trust Green Bay. I'm not going to. Again, that was one of the reasons why, not to mention the fact Thursday night game, I'm never going to be able to enjoy the rest of the week if I pick Green Bay and they lose on Thursday night. And then I sit there and I watch the Giants win and listen to my wife nagging over my shoulder. Why wouldn't you take the Giants? You should have taken the Giants. I love the Giants. You get lucky if the Giants win. You would want to bet on yourself. All right. I needed just to kind of talk that out there and try and get that out of the way. So we're going to it's either the Giants or the Saints. I'm leaning Giants, but I'm not going to make up my mind 100% on that. I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's giving me agita, Adam. And for anybody out there who doesn't know what agita is, it's the spilkis, the guilt that the Jews feel, right? It's when they feel bad about themselves. That's where I'm at. You're not Jewish, are you, Adam?
Have.
Oh, there you go. Are you saying that for real, or are you saying that like Ray Liotta said it in Goodfellas?
No, my dad was.
Oh, there you go. Oh, Mazel Tov. Then you're a Lawnsman, my good friend. Well, no, actually, you're not. Your mom is is where you match up with. All right. So there you go. A little bit of football, a little Survivor talk. Want to move on real quick and talk a little bit of baseball. Adam, MLB free agency, all up in that business right now. And listen, players are getting ready to sign. We're getting all the coverage over at fantasyalarm.com. We've got our MLB free agent tracker, not to mention new dynasty rankings are up over there at fantasyalarm.com. And, and we get a little trade news actually in today, which was really nice. We are recording on Wednesday night. So we got a little trade here as Teoscar Hernandez leaves Toronto. He heads over to Seattle. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I always liked Teoscar. I had him in multiple fantasy leagues this year. He's got some good power. I know the park change is not ideal. It's not as bad as I think people make out of see. Toronto actually was like middle of the pack, but I know that's a tough park to hit in. But he's got really good power and hits the ball hard. So I know Toronto was definitely looking to upgrade the bullpen. I guess they like Eric Swanson. And so I think some people looked at it as a surprising trade, but I kind of understand why Toronto did it. They're looking to upgrade the bullpen and they're looking to get a left-handed bat in there. And they have control for Eric Swanson through 2025, and Teoscar's a free agent after 2023. So my guess is they didn't plan on signing him.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to re-sign him either. So, I like it from a hitting standpoint. Obviously, it's a park shift in the negative fashion, and so we're going to have to understand that as far as Teoscar's power goes, hitting and safe go. The only other interesting move, or I mean, not interesting for you, interesting somewhat for me. Obviously, Anthony Rizzo returns to the Yankees. Signs a multi-year deal. John and Pemba actually brought this up. I'm curious as to what you think here. No shift this year.
Right.
And all of a sudden now, we start talking about batting averages on the rise and things like that. How much of a deal do you think that's going to end up being or could end up being?
It will be a big deal. I mean, if you watch games, you see balls that left-handers hit that the second baseman's in right field, and those are now going to be hit. So it will be a big deal. I just seen so many guys off the bat. I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, damn. Second baseman's right there. Or even a lot of balls hit up the middle that were always base hits that they just had a guy positioned right up the middle to field it. So, yeah, it's definitely going to help the left-handed hitters, especially a guy like Rizzo who only hit 224 last year. So it should help him. And we know power's still going to be there playing at Yankee Stadium. He had 32 home runs this past year. So the average should go up a little bit. He's always been a good contact hitter. He doesn't strike out a lot. He draws walks. So I would think the batting average goes up a bit.
Which would be nice. It's definitely, I think that's one of the things that we're going to end up seeing as far as how the shift or the ban, the abolishment of the shift is going to end up fixing some batting averages. That was always, I mean, I kind of feel like it was a little easier for fantasy with the decline of everybody's batting average, because all of a sudden it became like, I mean, I almost wish that we had more guys like, Adam Dunn in the realm right now, the 240, 230, 220 hitter who would park 40 bombs over the fence. But everybody was like, oh, it's just such an albatross because of the batting average. Now here in the last couple of seasons, I've been like, I don't really give a shit about batting average. Yeah, you want a guy who's gonna, help you out in that category, but you don't have to worry so much about a big power hitter dragging your batting average down, because everybody else was just shitting the bed so much. So now I think with the return of the shift, we're going to kind of have to take a look at that a little bit more closely when we're looking at guys come the preseason, come spring, and who we're investing in, because we could end up seeing a lot of that, like the Franmil Reyes could stay down there at the 230 batting average. And is he, giving you enough pop in order to kind of pay off using him? I use Franmil because I know you like him.
No, I don't. What are you talking about? Franmil?
He's your favorite player. You said it. You were like, I remember the back in the old Annie Up podcast, I believe you said something about wanting Franmil on the Mets.
Never said that.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Who am I thinking of then?
I don't know, but it's not Franmil. I'd like Bryce Harper on the Mets.
Oh, would you? Would
Yeah.
you? Well, hey, you got that owner who's just going to open up the wallets. He's going to do everything in free agency that he screwed you guys out on for the trade deadline.
He better.
What are your Mets? What are your odds for the Mets to win the World Series next year? Are those out already? Do we have futures? Do we have MLB futures yet?
I don't think so. I have not looked. I can take a quick look. My guess is you probably can find them somewhere.
I'm looking right now. Here we go. DK Sportsbook. By the way, guys, if you're listening over here and if you're in a state that's about to go legal, like Maryland on the online and all the other stuff that goes along with it, go to fantasyalarm.com/offers. Dude, we got a ton of shit over there, whether it's BetMGM or Caesars Sportsbook, or if gambling's not legal in your state, DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks, Underdog. We've got all of these specials brewing over there. So go to fantasyalarm.com/offers and jump in on that. Your Mets, look at your Mets, plus 1,200. Adam, that's the sixth best odds in the league. That's not bad, man. That's actually that's Vegas saying your Mets are not the dog shit product that hurt your feelings so much this year.
Well, they were not a dog shit product in the odds all year long either. So it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it really doesn't, does it?
No, it doesn't. So they got to do something. I mean, Dodgers are favored, plus 550, Astros plus 600, Braves plus 800, Yankees plus 1,000, and Blue Jays plus 1,000. Then the Mets are plus 1,200.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Blue Jays. I just don't know if they have they ever have like the where they can put the pitching and the hitting together. Like the hitting's not, I mean, yeah, no, there were a couple of guys who really shit the bed this year in comparison to what they were supposed to do. But I just feel like their pitching is just always a big Achilles heel. Obviously, that bandbox that they play in the Rogers Center doesn't really help the situation.
I think their bullpen was the biggest issue for them. So I think that's what they're going to try and address. And they need a left-handed bat. I know there's talk about Brandon Nimmo, but they better not take him.
They better not take him. Not my Nimmo.
I would think Nimmo would want to come back to the Mets if they're paying.
Who's the free agent that you want on the Mets? Who are you coveting right now? What are you talking about?
Trey Turner.
You want Trey Turner?
Yes.
And do you think Trey would be willing to play second base?
No.
Do you think Francisco Lindor would move to the Keystone?
Probably not, and he shouldn't. He played a phenomenal shortstop last year.
Would Trey Turner move to the outfield?
I doubt it. I mean, if there's a team that's going to pay him to be a shortstop, that's probably what he wants. So, I mean, there's a lot of rumors that he's going to go to the Phillies.
Oh.
But a lot of times these rumors don't even pan out. So it's difficult to take them serious.
Philly's been looking for a quality shortstop since Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's an intriguing fit. That makes me wonder. I'm hearing some really good things about Aaron Judge re-signing with the Yankees.
Great.
I'm hearing some really good things about it. I can't tell you my sources.
Okay.
But it's really positive. Like, yeah. Like, screw you Giants, screw you Mets if you think you're taking my Aaron Judge.
I don't want him on the Mets.
Yeah, you say that until he hits 50 home runs again.
No, because you got to pay him a lot for 5, 6, 7 years. And Aaron Judge is a guy, and you know this, he's going to break down during the middle of that contract. He's a huge body. He's playing the outfield. He's going to have to DH. He's 30 years old. And last year was the first year that he played over 150 games since 2017.
Yeah, we're going to end up, how many years did we sign Rizzo for?
Was it 2?
2 years, yeah. So at the end of 2 years, when Rizzo's contract's up and Aaron Judge moves to first base. It's easy. Anybody can play first base. First base is easy.
Yeah, Judge is going to play 150 games for the next 5 years. No problem.
Hey, man. You know what they say? They say it's not about the full performance over those 5 years. If you can get like 2 or 3 really strong years and get back to the World Series, then it pays for itself.
Okay, well.
At least that's what they fucking told me when we signed Jacoby Ellsbury for 7 years and a gazillion dollars.
That worked out well, didn't it?
That dude was the worst. Oh my God. It was such a horrible signing. Such a horrible signing. All right. Well, you can't have trade, like, realistically, because Trey Turner's not moving positions, and apparently neither is Francisco Lindor. What's the realistic free agent you want?
I mean, they have to bring back some of their guys. I mean, I don't know what big. I don't see a big name coming in. There's just not a lot of guys out there.
So you want to everybody who is there, you want to run it back. You want to try and put the band back together again.
Yeah, I mean, I want Nimmo back. I mean, I would love to have DeGrom back. Carrasco's already back. I mean, Bassett is a solid pitcher, so I'd like to see him back. They need a catcher. I would like to see maybe. No, he's 31, but Wilson Contreras would be a nice addition. Yeah, I mean, Correa's not going to come. Bogart's probably not going to come. So it's not a lot of big names out there, man.
All right. Okay. So you run it back then. I hope that I genuinely hope you get your free agents. I want another Subway Series. That was Subway Series was so much fun in 2000. It really was. Like, I know you hate the fact or whatever that we beat you, but I mean, dude, how electric was the city during that?
No, it was. Even the games this year were electric. I was at one of them. It was insane. And that was a game where the Yankees scored 2 in the first inning, and then the Mets came back with 4. I mean, the park was rocking. It's a lot of juice, so it's always great when New York has 2 good baseball teams.
So good. So good. All right. Well, again, go to fantasyalarm.com. Check out the free agent tracker. We also have a number of articles done by our main man, Matt Sells, him and Colby Conway, top 5 MLB free agents at each position. They went through and they split up the work there. So those top 5 MLB free agents, then we've got the full free agent tracker when guys start signing, and we put that out. And then, of course, a number of other offseason articles are making their way over there. All right, let's go from MLB to the hardwood. Adam, let's talk a little NBA player props. So last week, Adam, you threw us a couple of names for some player props that we were supposed to take a look at over the weekend. How'd your NBA betting go? How was Friday's article, and how'd you do?
Yeah, Friday's article was 2-1, so it's up to 8-4 on the season. So doing pretty good there. That's every Friday on Pickswise.com. You check that out. It's been pretty good. A lot of the same guys have been playing. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's just been phenomenal. He's scoring like 30-plus points every game. That team is playing good basketball. They put up like 145 on the Knicks on Sunday. Tyrese Halliburton, I've been looking at a lot. Some of the Knicks too recently, like Jalen Brunson, his props have been pretty good. Michael Porter's 3 points is something to look at. He consistently hits 3. They moved the line to 3.5 as the Wednesday night as we're recording because Nikola Jokic is out due to health and safety protocols, which I don't understand. Why is NBA the only sport with health and safety protocols now with players? Like, this is not happening in the NFL. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, can we just move on and get over this? Like, we've learned to deal with it. Let the player sit out. When he's good, he comes back. I thought like 95% of these players are vaccinated anyway. Anyway, it's a different topic, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, Bradley Beal sat out like a week. I mean, what are we doing? It's not happening in football. Have we had one player sit out this year? Have you seen one player placed in the health and safety protocols for the NFL this year? I don't remember.
No, I don't even think they've got them in place this year. Right. I think that they've I don't think COVID exists in the NFL anymore. I mean, we see guys who have an illness.
Right.
But I don't think it's cost anybody any kind of play, obviously, because your time, what is it, right? Your quarantine time is much less than
it's 5 minutes now. So, like, what are we doing? I mean, Bradley Beal just sat out like a week.
It's more than 5 minutes.
I know, 10, whatever. Rudy Gobert missed a couple games, and now Jokic is sitting out Wednesday. Don't know when I just don't get it. So yeah, that's been happening a little bit more frequently. I've been playing Steph Curry's props a lot, although he let me down the other night. It was a blowout. but Curry has been absolutely playing at an MVP level because Golden State's really struggling. They're 0-7 on the road. They're 6-8 on the season going into Wednesday, 0-7 on the road, and they have a big game Wednesday night against the Suns. Spencer Dinwiddie's been really good on props because everyone's looking at Luka and Dinwiddie's kind of under the radar.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, Donovan Mitchell. And then obviously when players are out, we take advantage of numbers that are too low. Like the other day, Javon Carter, I was like, the first game Giannis came back, I was like, how is Javon Carter's points prop 10.5 points and his assists were like 4.5? And he didn't go over it by a lot, but he went over it in the third quarter. So it's just kind of eyeing some numbers that feel wrong. Oh, I wrote this up Friday. Karl-Anthony Towns, like his rebounds and assist prop, I wrote it up on Friday. It was 12.5. He went over it. He's gone over it, I think, in 8 of the last night. I took it again on Wednesday night. We'll see how it does, but he's been crushing that. So, yeah, there's just a few that stand out, and scoring is way up in the NBA. You got is it 10 players now averaging 30 points or more? Something like that.
Really?
Giannis is over 30. Mitchell is over 30. Tatum's over 30. So there's a lot. The scoring is way up. So I'm not adverse to taking some of those guys where I didn't do it last night and I kicking myself. John Morant over 28.5. It was a nationally televised game against the Pelicans and he had 16 in the first quarter. And I'm just like, stupid. Just take the over on him. He's been phenomenal. So yeah, scoring's way up. Totals are very high. So
how long does it take for the books to really correct themselves? Like in a situation when you got a guy who's super hot, or you got changes that are being made on a team. How quickly do the books actually catch everything?
It depends on the player. They really adjusted quickly to Paolo Banchero, the rookie from Orlando. Now he's been out. I think it's 5 games in a row he's missed now, but his number was low and they quickly adjusted and it got up to 23.5 points. It was like, ooh, okay. I feel like they've been kind of slow on Tyrese Halliburton. They put his assists usually at 9.5, but they always put his points 17, 18.5. I've been playing his points assist. It didn't hit on Saturday because he shot 3 of 14. He shot 3 of 14 and still almost got there with 8 points and 15 assists. So I guess he's in the fantasy community and the betting community, he is considered maybe not elite, but close to it. I don't think in the casual community he is, because he was drafted late first, early second in fantasy leagues. And again, he's a guy that I pretty much play every night. So they've been a little slow, I think, on him. So it kind of depends on the player. Obviously, the star players, they're going to have those numbers in the right spot. But some of the players under the radar, it might take some time for them to adjust. So it really depends. I guess with Banchero, he was the number 1 overall pick. So they were like, okay, yeah. And everyone was talking about him and the way he started the season.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, you kind of have to figure, a lot of the mainstream guys they'll catch up with pretty quickly, or at least the guys who get the hype and get the buzz, for sure. All right, cool. Well, there you go. Adam's article will come out on Pickswise.com on Friday. Check out his props for that. And then, yeah, just rewind back on whatever platform you're listening to this right now and just make sure you start writing down names and stuff like that. I do that. I sit here and we talk and we listen and whatever. And then when the show's over, I go back and I re-listen to the NBA segment. I start writing down the names for everybody. For people I know who are looking for NBA props, so I can at least sound like I know what I'm doing. I leave it to the experts, right? I have a plumbing issue. What do? I call a plumber. I have an NBA prop betting issue. I go to Adam Ronis. He's the expert. So check it on out. All right. We got to get Adam out on an early exit here because he's got to get some food. He's got a dinner to go to. And you know what? I got some stuff to deal with as well. I got to do some secret stuff. It's the wife's birthday tomorrow. So I got to make sure that I go to the store and get a stupid card. Cards are the worst, by the way. Can I just say that before we even
we've
move
had
on
this
to football?
discussion, and I'm completely agree with you.
Cards are like $5 a fucking card.
And they're gonna just throw it away after they read it.
Throw it away.
It's the biggest. It might be one of the biggest scams.
Hallmark, dude. Hallmark. Unbelievable.
It's the thought that counts. No, it's not. You throw it in the fucking garbage.
Right. Like if it was the thought that counted,
then let me write a fucking card.
You cherish the thought.
Right. How about I fucking write it? How about that's the card? That's more thought because I have to come up with the words.
I'm using my old Photoshop skills here so I can print out some Bender coupons.
There you go. That's not a bad idea.
That's what she's getting for her birthday. So with all of that, let's get to the NFL. Let's pick those games against the spread. Adam, we start with Thursday night, a game that we talked about with Survivor. It's Titans, it's Packers. It's only a 3.5 point spread. Packers are favored at home. Oh, man, I got to be honest with you. Betting the Titans this year has been very, very good to me. But I just don't know if I probably would. Because it's the hook, I'll probably take the Titans. But given that it is in Green Bay and it is at home, I'm not thrilled about it. But I like that 0.5 point, so I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, I didn't realize it went up to 3.5.
Oh yeah, they fucked me on the Bears Falcons game too. That went up to 3.5 as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Green Bay. I just think that it's a good spot for them at home. Tennessee has just been getting really fortunate. They have some injuries on the defensive side of the football. You would think the Titans will be able to run on Green Bay, but if they fall behind and have to pass, I don't know if the pass protection is going to be able to hold up. It was a big win for Green Bay last week. I mean, I hate betting against Vrabel though as a dog. Oh boy. All right, you know what? It's 3.5. I'll take Tennessee.
I can take that 0.5 point.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Listen, I do think Green Bay wins though.
I wrote up I wrote up Chicago and Atlanta. We'll just jump ahead really quickly to that game just because I wrote it up and I said it was at -3. It was Falcons -3, and I was like going through my usual rigmarole about where I was liking it, but I said at the end of the day I could see this being like a 24-24 game, and the last team that has the football goes down and kicks that last second field goal. Without that hook, I can't take the Bears. But now all of a sudden the Bears have the hook. So do I go back on my word or do I stay with the Falcons? Adam, which way are you leaning on this one?
Bears, and I would have taken the Bears even if it was 3. Atlanta stinks. I know the Bears stink too, but their offense can get things done. And I think the Bears are an over team right now too. So I would look to the over or the Bears team total over. Is it 22.5? Is that right?
I didn't look at the individual team total, but I did take the over in this game, which is sitting at 49 right now.
Yeah. I mean, the Bears have been going over 4 straight weeks. I mean, it's just been ridiculous. So Atlanta should be able to run the ball on them too. And they're coming off a Thursday night game, a little extra rest. So I would think Cordero Patterson gets a bigger workload. I know he only had 5 carries in that Thursday game, but I think that was due to a short week coming back from his first game off of injury.
All right. So we're on opposite sides. Well, no, we're not. We're on the same side. But if it was at 3, I would have taken the Falcons. It's 3.5. It unnerves me. It does. Cleveland, Buffalo. Right now, the Browns are a road dog. They're getting 8 points. We're supposed to have some weather issues in this one, Adam. There is apparently it's supposed to rain and sleet and snow for the Friday and Saturday, and then it's supposed to clear up on Sunday. However, cold temperatures, 20-mile-an-hour gusts of wind. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, they're saying up to 6 feet of snow. So this is insane. And that total has dropped quickly. It opened at 47 and is it 40? Let me see.
41.5 right now.
Oh my God. It dropped again. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I saw it at 43 earlier today.
I think I saw it like 44.
Yeah. This is a game I'm not ready to pick yet because I want to see what happens. I was ready to take the Bills, thinking they would bounce back here. I was really disgusted with how Cleveland looked against Miami. I was stunned that they were that bad. I know the Bills made mistakes. And they should bounce back. But so I'm leaning the Bills, but I might have to go to Cleveland if this weather is that insane.
The weather is bad. I'm going with Cleveland because of the point total, because the total keeps dropping the way it's dropping. And it's just, you know what? It's a matter of who can run the football. Who can run the football and who's going to stay with it. And I think that if we do have bad weather, we do have gusts of wind, I think that, just Cleveland keeps the ball on the ground. The Bills have given up the 5th most rushing yards per game over the last 3 games. I think Nick Chubb runs hard, and listen, the Bills can win this game. I don't give a shit who wins. I just think it's close enough that I'll take the 8 points. Eagles, Colts. Eagles favored by 7. Colts, big win for them. Jeff Saturday, yippee-ki-yay. He saves the day. He revitalizes the running game. He helps the offensive line. Jonathan Taylor looks like a stud. Matt Ryan makes a big comeback. Someone put oversized cleats on him and had him run 40 yards down the field. That was entertaining to watch. All of that there wrapped up in the Indianapolis Colts. Adam, I'll take the Eagles and I'll lay the points.
Yeah, I will too. I think that a lot of things just went wrong for them. Washington had the ball for over 40 minutes. They converted 12 third downs, which is something you don't see. So the defense was on the field a lot. They turned it over, which is something they don't do. And yeah, the Colts did this against Vegas. They fucking suck. They're an embarrassment. I mean, so yeah, some good things for the Colts going forward, but this is a bounce back spot for Philly.
It's definitely a bounce back spot for Philly. All right, Giants, Lions. I think we both agree that the Giants win this game, but it is a 3-point spread. Adam, who do you like against the spread?
Look, I got to take the Giants, man. I mean, they've been doing it all year. A field goal, okay. Say they win by a field goal. All right, it's a push. I mean, the Giants are just well coached. They're getting it done. And the Lions on the road could be cold weather. We know Goff doesn't play well on the road in cold weather. I mean, it's already all of a sudden it's gotten cold here. It was like summer last week. It was like 70 degrees. And I finally broke out the winter jacket this week for the first time. So looking at Sunday, it's going to be about high is 37. So we're looking around 30, 32 degrees, maybe around 35 degrees. So yeah, give me the Giants.
You can have them, and I'll take them too, no doubt. Jets, Patriots. I don't even like this one. I don't like it. Jets are road dogs, 3.5 points. The over/under on this one is 38. Ugh. Patriots are a -175 money line favorite, but Jets are a -115 getting the points. Does that hook influence you at all?
Wait, it's 3.5?
I'm looking at it right now. It says 3.5 Patriots favored.
Oh boy. Okay.
Uh-oh. What happened, Adam?
I'm still going to take the Patriots, man. I want the Jets to win, but like Wilson on the road against Belichick, already saw him, 2 weeks to prepare. It's just, I can't back Wilson in this spot.
No, I can't either, and I won't. Carolina Panthers, Baltimore Ravens. Oh, this one got big. Ravens by 13 points, home favorites here. Do they just walk all over the Panthers?
Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield's the quarterback. The Ravens defense is ascending. I was surprised to find him on the waiver wire in 2 of my leagues because
get out of here.
Yeah, because last week, I'm helping my friend with his office league. We had the Ravens. I said we are not dropping the Ravens. We're going to keep them through the bye because their schedule is phenomenal the rest of the way, and they're starting to play a lot better defensively. So we picked up the Giants, used them, and cut them. But yeah, the Ravens, I mean, I get why some people don't want to hold 2 defenses, but if you have to look ahead at the Ravens schedule and realize this team is in a great spot. This is a defense I want. So one of them, I wasn't aggressive because I have Philly, and I'm like, I love Philly too, but I thought the Ravens schedule was a little bit better. So I wasn't aggressive and I didn't get them. The other one, I did get them. So yeah, I love this Ravens defense down the stretch. Their schedule is phenomenal. Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens coming off the bye. This is probably a good game for Lamar Jackson. He's been real mediocre from a fantasy perspective. Hopefully Mark Andrews plays, but I'm going to take the Ravens here.
Yeah, I like the Ravens laying the points as well. Washington Commanders, Houston Texans. Here you go. Houston home dog 3.5.
And this is so tough. I really want to take Washington, but man, this just looks like a letdown spot, right? And it's at the hook too. Oh man.
Lovie Smith with the running game for Houston. He loves sticking with it, which I love and I respect. And I love that, Damian Pierce gets to work. It's a very tough matchup for him. This comes down to a lot of whether or not you think Davis Mills can expose this secondary. I don't, the secondary is garbage anyway. Benjamin St-Juste is probably one of the worst cover corners in the world. And I'll bet you Brandon Cooks finds multiple ways.
No, Nico Collins.
Isn't St-Juste more on the did they move him to the slot? They move him back to the outside.
Well, okay, Cooks could have a good game, but so is Nico Collins. 10 targets last week, and he's finally healthy. So both guys. So
Nico Collins. We hear this one all the time.
What are you talking about? He had a big game last week.
And he played for nobody.
I played him in one league.
No, you did not.
I swear.
Did you lose? Is your team dog shit in that league that you were like,
it's an RT
I'm all in on Nico fucking
league.
Collins?
It's RT Sports. So what are you talking? Nico Collins is a good player, man. Let me see. I have two RT teams. One is garbage.
It's probably the one with Nico Collins on it then.
Yeah, it is the one with Nico Collins.
Shocker that the bad team.
Why did I play it? I played him because I didn't play Paris Campbell because I didn't realize Matt Ryan was playing. So yeah, I didn't really have a lot of good.
You call yourself a fantasy analyst? You didn't know Matt Ryan was playing?
Yeah, I know you did.
I did. I was up. I was doing a show at fucking 4:00 in the morning here. I knew exactly who was playing.
They never even announced it at 4 a.m.
What are you talking about? They had talked about Matt Ryan making the start the entire morning. That whole morning. All morning long.
No, they didn't make it official until because that was a 4-something game.
It was a 4:00 game, but they had said it. Me and Fensty were on the air from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern, so 4 a.m. my time. That's what I'm talking about.
But that was it was not official at that time.
It was pretty official.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it kind of was. It's okay, man. It's okay.
It was not official.
You got a great start out of Nico Collins, at least.
He had a good game.
He did have a good game. So maybe he has a good game. Listen, yeah, if Benjamin St-Juste is on the outside, then yes, I'm all in here for Nico Collins. I'll even put him in the you know what? I'm going to put Nico Collins in the watch list for you, Adam. Use him in DFS.
Well, I didn't say all that. I don't know the
price. Oh, no, now I can't. Was he not like a good GPP option? What's up?
I don't know. I didn't look at DFS yet. So you want to put him in there? Sure, but I haven't done any digging.
I'm gonna put him in the watch list. I'm gonna be like, Adam Ronis told me that Nico Collins is the guy this week. Did we say Texans plus the points?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Rams, Saints. This game is now, it's like I said, it's down to Saints -3, the home favorite, but Matthew Stafford is coming back. The over-under is a delicious 38.5 in this game. Holy shit, these teams look bad. I don't know, man. I want to say the Saints. I really do. The Rams are atrocious, but Matthew Stafford being back kind of makes a big deal, especially because Saints secondary is a little banged up. I know that he's super reliant on Cooper Kupp, but I mean, Van Jefferson, Ben Skoranek, no? Tyler, how about a big Tyler Higbee game?
Maybe. I lean the Saints, man. I just can't back the Rams, man. I mean, they sucked with Cooper Kupp, and now you take him away. I know the Saints suck too, but I'll lean the Saints here.
All right, Saints it is. Saints it is. That's kind of where I was leaning too, because like I said, I was thinking about taking them in Survivor for this week. Raiders, road dogs, getting 3 points. Denver Broncos. This is just the series that I throw my hands and feet up in the air because I picked this game wrong all the time. All the time. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't have a read on it. I hate Nathaniel Hackett. I hate the offense, but the Raiders are so bad and their defense is so atrocious that you look and you say, how could the Broncos not run the ball on the Raiders and hit Cortland Sutton or Greg Dulcich or whoever downfield and just expose this team? Patrick Surtain can shut down Devontae Adams. So I say I'm taking the Broncos and I'm laying the 3 points, the home favorite here, Adam. But I can't say that I'm doing it with a whole lot of confidence.
Yeah, don't put your hard-earned money on this. I would take the Broncos if I'm in a pool, which I am, so I'm going to take the Broncos. I mean, listen to this stat. If the Broncos scored 20 points in every game this year, they'd be 8-1.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Their defense is so good.
I said it early in the year. I think it was the 4th, 5th game. I'm like, it was a nationally televised game. Which game did I say it after? I think it was the
49ers game. When the 49ers came to
11-10
Denver and then lost like week 3.
Was it that game? Or was it the Colts game or the Chargers? I don't know, whatever. They lose every game anyway. But I was just like, the defense has got to be just exasperated, man. They're playing their hearts out, holding teams down, and the offense can't do nothing. So the Raiders are terrible. And Denver is 8-1 on the under. So there you go.
Denver is 8-1 on the under. Like that. Cowboys, road favorites in Minnesota. Only a point and a half here. Might as well just be a flippin' pick 'em. Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings. Adam, which way are you going?
I think everyone is stunned that Dallas is a favorite, and they're saying Minnesota is being disrespected. So they're kind of begging you to take Minnesota.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just
why you take Dallas?
Yeah. The Vikings, again, you give them credit. That was an amazing win last week, but they're middle of the pack in DVOA, and they've won every game by like 1 score. Dallas should have beat Green Bay. They blew it. But Minnesota's defense is also a problem. I think Dallas is going to be able to have success. They don't get a lot of pressure. And they'll be able to put pressure on Cousins. So I think the Cowboys win here.
I agree. Man, we're kind of in lockstep in a lot of these games. I think we differed on the Bears Falcons game. Well, no, we actually were on the same page there also. Holy shit. We can't be in agreement with every game. Let's see. What else? Bengals, Steelers. Steelers are at home. Home dog. They're getting 4 points. Joe Cool has not looked so cool without his boy Jamar Chase. Steelers, not a very good team. Their defense always seems to play better when they are at home. I don't know. Is Minkah Fitzpatrick in this game?
He might. There's a chance he could play. I'm taking the Steelers. TJ Watt's back, changes everything. We saw what he did against them in week 1.
Oh, we nailed, by the way, last week with the Steelers. Oh,
I love it.
I was like, Steelers. You're like, yep, Steelers.
Yeah, Pittsburgh money line, and they actually closed as -1. But I was like, yeah, take the money line. They're going to win that game. So, I would take Pittsburgh. I think there's a chance they could win this game, but I would take the points.
Yeah, I would definitely take the points. Absolutely. So funny. Steelers at home, people. Who knew? The big game, it got flexed to the Sunday night. Chiefs Chargers. Both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen put in limited practices today. They're both doing individual drills off to the side. So we're getting a marquee matchup. Now, meanwhile, though, none of the Chiefs wide receivers practiced today. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, they called it with an illness. Juju Smith-Schuster has not even remotely cleared concussion protocol after that big hit. And then and Mecole Hardman did not practice today as well. So now all of a sudden, here we go. We got the Chiefs on the road against the Chargers. Still as a favorite. We don't know who the wide receiver is. Maybe it's Kadarius Toney. We know that it's Kelsey. We know that it's Mahomes. Against the Chargers, though, I'll tell you what, man. I'll say this. If the Chargers have both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen back, and both of these guys are like legit, not like game time decision, we'll see what happens. But if both guys are legit back, I'll take the Chargers and the points as a home dog.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. They always play Kansas City well. I think they've covered 5 straight. They had a good game earlier this year. They should have won that Thursday night Amazon game. They didn't, but yeah, I'm taking the Chargers here. Hopefully one, if not both those receivers play. I really hope both play. I want to see both teams healthy. This is always a fun game. We just need the Chargers just not the same without those guys. Herbert's just throwing all short passes to Eckler. He's always around 5.7 yards per attempt. It's brutal. They had the lead against the 49ers. You knew they weren't going to win that game. So they need these guys back. Even Gerald Everett, who's kind of banged up. Not that he does much, but having him would help. So I'm taking the Chargers, getting the points.
We're in agreement again. Folks, this could be a record. This could be a record. The world might explode if we agree on this last one. It's the 49ers on the road against the Cardinals. Monday night home dog, Adam. Point plus
it's not a home
8.
dog. It's not in Mexico City.
Oh, is this game in Mexico City?
Yes.
Oh, viva los 49ers. I'll take that, man. I'll take the Niners and I'll lay the points then. If the Cardinals are not a true home dog.
Yeah. Is it 7.5 or 8?
8.
Okay, so it was 7.5. Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers, man. Because I don't think Kyler Murray's playing. I mean, McCoy's not that bad. So, but the 49ers should be better. They really should. With all those pieces on offense, like, come on, man.
You know what it is? They need a better passing quarterback.
But I don't even
if you had a better passing quarterback than Garoppolo, who's just, he thrives in the short passing game.
But that's all you need, though. Get the ball.
He's more game manager than anything else. I think
they don't throw to Deebo Samuel anymore, bro. Like, and you see when Deebo gets the ball, like, it takes like 17 guys to tackle him. Kittle, obviously, he's such a good blocker that they don't use him, and it's frustrating because he's one of the elite tight ends, but he blocks so well. They're like, we don't need to throw to you. I just think with all those pieces on offense, it's okay. Is Garoppolo elite? No, but you don't need him to be. I mean, look what Tua is doing.
I'm not saying that Garoppolo needs to be elite. I'm just saying that he just needs to be better. And I'll take Tua over Garoppolo.
I don't think it's that. No, I don't think they let Garoppolo throw much. Like you saw, look how much they ran the ball this past week. Like everyone's complaining, McCaffrey didn't get the ball. I mean, he still had close to 20 touches. They just ran and Mitchell ran the ball. So they run the ball so much. You have all these pieces on offense. Use them. Just don't run it with McCaffrey and Mitchell every play. Like, come on. You have Kittle, Deebo, and Ayuk. This offense should be putting up 30 points a game. And maybe
this is what Kyle Shanahan wants. Maybe he wants to show you that he's got McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell. He's going to run. And then you're prepping for that. And the next thing you know, he's fucking passing it to Kittle and Ayuk and Deebo all day.
It's not working. I mean, they had 41 carries in the game. They averaged 3.8 yards a carry. Garoppolo averaged 8.6 yards per pass attempt and was sacked 1 time. Come on, man. I know the Chargers are susceptible against the run, but they weren't great. Like Deebo Samuel, and I don't have him in fantasy, so I could care less. I hope this continues. I don't have him. I have Ayuk. How does Deebo Samuel have 2 catches for 24 yards?
I don't know, dude. Come on, Monday Night Football. How did AJ Brown have 1 catch for 7?
He got hurt, and they didn't have the ball. The Eagles ran 47 plays. They didn't have the ball. But yeah, he was banged up,
wasn't it?
He was banged up. So he said he's fine, but I mean, look, that's going to happen, but that doesn't happen every week with AJ Brown. It's happening every week with Deebo Samuel right now. It's not going to get better because McCaffrey's there.
No, it's definitely not going to get better with McCaffrey there. No doubt about it. So
Deebo Samuel has 42 receiving yards or less in 3 of the last 4 games.
So
that's trade
him off of all your fantasy teams right now.
Well, the trade deadline is kind of this week if you play in trading leagues or next week. I don't know. I don't make trades. I don't give a shit.
Grumble.
Look, I hope the 49ers suck. I'm a Cowboys fan, and that's a team I don't want to face them in the postseason. I don't. I hope they don't face them because that's a team that scares me. But that should be a team that puts up 30 points every week with that offense, and 22 against the Chargers. And it was a struggle to get 22. They were down most of the game. I just think they should be better. That's all.
I understand. And I can accept that. I definitely can. I personally have, like, I couldn't care less. To me, if the 49ers blew up today or tomorrow, I wouldn't lose.
I wouldn't care either. I hate them.
A bit of sleep over it.
I hate them, but objectively, they're a dangerous team in the NFC.
Bay Area sports teams, man, they drive me nuts. No, they don't. It's not them. It's the fans. That's what it is. All right. Well, listen, Adam, you sound like you're getting a little hangry now. So, let's cut things off, and we'll thank everybody for joining us here. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We absolutely love it. You guys can always reach out to us. He's at Adam Ronis on Twitter. I'm at RotoBuzzGuy. You can find us all over at fantasyalarm.com. This coming weekend, my picks, my best bets are over at pickswise.com for NFL games this weekend. Adam's picks for NBA props are there on Friday. You can hit us up both over the weekend for Twitter questions. Whatever you need, we got you covered. Again, if you are a bettor, you're looking for good deals on, whether it's books in for Caesars or for BetMGM, whether it's daily fantasy with DraftKings or FanDuel, go to fantasyalarm.com/offers and check out all the deals. Hopefully you can sign up, get those double deposits and all the other great stuff that goes along with it. For now, we're going to say goodnight. Happy week 11 to everybody in the NFL. May all your bets cash. May all your fantasy teams win.